Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh. So, before we get started on the Raw and SmackDown, we're going to start off with a new Hall of Fame inductee. That's a bit of an understatement. Somehow, someway, Double J has made his way into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I always knew he had the resume to do it, but the way he was fired publicly made me think he would never be seen or heard from again on WWE programming.
It definitely seemed as though we had seen the last of the guy. It was a very big shock to me to see that he was being inducted this year.
I didn't believe it until I saw the actual promo. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. It can't be.
They're messing with me. It's real, and WWE uploaded like 10, 15 odd videos of his career and made the video and pushed it out, and now we all get to just sort of stand here with our jaws on the floor, shocked as hell, wondering...
Notice they only show WWE highlights. They don't show anything that he did in WCW. That's not even including his business enterprises in TNA.
Definitely not that. I see on YouTube, I see one WCW clip. I see one WCW, one AWA, and the rest looks to all be WWE. But for the, I guess the promo package itself, it's all WWE stuff. It is what it is. We'll see. I don't think, obviously there's been a few controversial people to show up at the Hall of Fame, either as inductees or inductors. Nothing ever goes off the rails, nothing's ever too insane, so I don't expect this to be any different. I expect this to be a nice little tame, professional event.
Yeah. Hopefully, Jarrett takes advantage of this and gets himself straight. He's had some issues last night.
True, yeah. I gotta wonder if he has or is already committed to it. I feel like WWE don't like taking risks when it comes to stuff like that. But obviously nobody knows other than Double J himself. So, next year, Gail Kim or Earl Hebner?
I think we would be more likely to see Gail return than we would ever see Earl Hebner.
They're the only two TNA Hall of Famers to not be WWE Hall of Famers.
Yeah, because and honestly, it's largely because of the controversy of which Earl Hebner was fired. You're not going to celebrate somebody who was on the side selling merchandise and not illegally from you. So I don't see that ever happening. I could see maybe if Gail Kim gets over her grudge with WWE, they'll bring her back. But I don't see Earl Hebner ever coming back.
Fair enough. I definitely think that they're different ways, right? Like, I think WWE hates Hebner, Gail Kim hates WWE. And I don't necessarily see either of them happening anytime soon. Hebner a lot less, because it looks like in 2016 he was named as a part of that class action lawsuit, so
yeah,
we'll just write him off.
Yeah, and the thing is that I think in order to induct Hebner, there are a few referees that need to be put in place before him.
If you're making a precedent
Tommy
of
Young,
doing them.
for instance.
Yeah, I think if you're making a precedent of we will now induct referees, then you're right. There has to be people who deserve it more than him. But we'll see. Hall of Fame, looking good. Plenty more announcements left to be made. Our Raw stuff's going to be real short, so we're going to hit the SmackDown stuff and the 205 Live stuff. So, Buddy Murphy on 205 Live. Dude's jacked.
Hey,
he's looking real jacked, baby. Yeah, I believe he won his tournament match. I think there's only one left in the first round now.
Yeah, there's only one match left. It's Mustafa Ali versus Gentleman Jack Gallagher. That's the last first round match.
Presumably with Gallagher winning.
Presumably with Mustafa Ali winning.
Oh, yep. I definitely agree with you. Ali. I fully forgot that Buddy is, yep. Gotcha. Okay. I agree. Ali wins.
It wouldn't matter if Buddy was heel or face.
True.
Ali's going to win that match.
Have we lost all faith in the push behind the Umbrella Man?
Unfortunately, yes.
Umbrella Man was doing so well, and then we turned him heel, and Umbrella Man had some cool antics, but was just sort of forgotten, thrown to the wayside a little bit. But yeah, 205 Live, it's going. We're going to cross our fingers that it doesn't fall
I think
flat.
Actually Mustafa Ali has already won that match.
Yep, I'm looking at Wikipedia. I wasn't sure if it was aired or if that was a spoiler.
Yeah. There's a final 8 now.
Okay, sweet.
It's Cedric versus TJP.
Mm-hmm.
Roderick Strong versus Kalisto.
Yep.
Proof that being face or heel doesn't matter in this tournament.
Sure.
Then you have Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy. And then Drew Gulak versus Mark Andrews. And that's the final 8.
I think most of those matches could go either way.
Yeah, I want to say Cedric, Roderick, Mustafa Ali, Drew Gulak.
Okay.
Would be final 4. Final 4, Cedric and Drew, and then Cedric versus Drew at WrestleMania to crown the champion.
Okay. I'm gonna go similar, except I'm gonna have Buddy Murphy winning over Mustafa Ali. I'm gonna have Buddy beating Drew. I'm gonna have the finals be Cedric versus Buddy.
I don't see Buddy making it.
I'm all in on Buddy. All in. Yep. Putting everything behind him. Australia is pretty much New Zealand, therefore I must support 100%. That's how this works. There's a country agreeal. So SmackDown, Charlotte Flair, Ruby Riott. That's what we're going at least for now with the SmackDown Women's Division.
Gotta have that filler. Gotta have that filler.
No title change then is what I'm assuming?
Not during that match, that's for sure.
So you're saying Carmella might cash in?
At this point, I don't know anymore. Because I've said, well, she might cash in at the end of this match, or every month it seems like. And it's like, well, she still has the briefcase, and so I don't know. I don't know. I just know Ruby Riott's not winning the title. That's all I know.
I think that's fair enough. We also don't know what necessarily is happening with Rousey as well in terms of WrestleMania, whether it will be Rousey Flair or Carmella cashing in. It's almost like we forgot Carmella has the briefcase at this point.
I don't know if that's by design or by accident.
She's got to use it soon, right? Like
she has until Money in the Bank in June.
In June, okay. So she
still has 4 more months.
But it's creeping up in terms of when it has to happen. We have Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton. Also a Fastlane booked match.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. See how that plays out.
But Jinder Mahal still seems to be flirting around with it. He's not ready to jump out of the United States title picture just yet.
Nope.
But with the Fatal 5-Way for the WWE Championship, I don't know if we'll make this one a triple threat or if Jinder will just interfere and then another match made down the line. Don't quite know what Jinder's appearance with Fastlane is going to be. But I think it's fair to say he'll be on the show. Maybe not on the card, but he'll be on the show.
Yeah, it's he would definitely have to be on the show. With the SmackDown side of things, we have no clue about WrestleMania at all, other than the WWE Championship. That's the only thing set in stone right now. Pretty
much. Our other match we got was the Usos versus the New Day because the New Day beat Gable and Benjamin. I, again, doubt there's a title change here.
The only thing I know is it'll be a great match if it is just those two, but I kind of wonder if they're going to do next week Bludgeon Brothers versus New Day for that spot. Because they kind of teased a possible feud between the New Day and Bludgeon Brothers.
I still think the Bludgeon Brothers will be the ones to take the title off the Usos. It's just a matter of when.
It's possible, but there is something I would rather see.
What you got?
Not that I don't want to see Bludgeon Brothers titles.
Mm-hmm.
The titles. What I'd want to see at WrestleMania is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos.
Okay.
I would love that. That would be a great match, and it would reward the Usos for having a killer 2017.
Yeah.
As tag team champions, but giving them a spot on the main card. Because they've never had that.
You think people are going to be on the main card? Never happens. I won't believe you.
They deserve to be on the main card for a change. They've always been on the pre-show. And facing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would give them a major match.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I do think we run the risk, if it is Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers, of them being on the pre-show again.
Yeah.
But as you said, if you put the star power of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in there, it would be hard. Not impossible, but hard to push that to the pre-show.
So, and yeah, whatever they do with the Usos, for them, if they're on the pre-show again, that's just disappointing. So they've got to be put on the main show of WrestleMania this year if they're the tag team champion.
What's that? They lose the titles to the New Day Bludgeon Brothers at WrestleMania, and Usos not even on the show. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, that would be sad.
That's the darkest timeline.
There's some Earth universe in which that is actually occurring.
Oh, I'm not 100% sure that isn't our Earth.
It might just be.
There is a chance, and it's not a non-zero chance, that is what we get.
Well, we are in a universe in which Dolph Ziggler won the United States title when we said he had no chance to do so.
Oh, don't remind me, please. We said he had a 1%, and he did it. I'm not a gambling man, and I never will ever again after that. What else we got? I think we were just building Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. It looks like that's just dead in the water now, right? Like we've dragged that out too long.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they're doing with them anymore.
I'm assuming if Daniel was even like a 2% chance of being cleared, he'd have done something by now.
I guess the picture will look more clearer once we're through Fastlane.
Yeah, once we're past that filler show and we start actually making our card. You know, any feuds that start now are feuds for Fastlane, they're not feuds for Mania. But yeah, we just got to get there. We'll go into our entrance theme of the week, just because there's a pay-per-view on the Raw side that we're going to have to talk about. The theme is Jeff Jarrett's theme for obvious reasons we talked about at the start of the show. Because Hellfire is over, and that means that we should play the song. And you're back for Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 9.0, Grady and Josh. So we're on Raw now. At least, it's over a third. So I'm going to say pretty much a half of the wrestling content on this show was one match.
2/3 of the entire show was one match.
Yeah, it was...
Because the
insane.
Gauntlet match that opened the show went from about 8:10, that's about the end of the opening promo, until 9:55. It was nearly an hour and 50 minutes. Which is technically the longest match in WWE history.
Mm-hmm. And I believe Seth Rollins is the longest competitor in a match in WWE history?
No.
Televised, sorry.
He's the longest Raw
competitor
in one match. So technically, though it's technically 2 matches, so 3 matches.
It's one match.
Because of the gauntlet rules. But yeah, he went 65 minutes in between 3 opponents.
Dude did good.
Yeah, it was very good. I wouldn't have minded just an hour. Wouldn't have minded just an hour of him and Roman wrestling. I enjoyed that part of the match. And then him and Cena had a good 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. And because obviously these 7 men are the ones in the chamber, one of them will be facing Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, and everybody pretty much has succumbed to the fact that it will be Roman. But will it be Roman?
Yes, it will be Roman.
You're still 100% sure behind Roman?
Yes.
1v1.
As sure as I was that Nakamura was winning the Royal Rumble.
You got lucky on that one. I'm hovering back and forth. I'm not saying it's necessarily the way I want it to go, but I can potentially see a world where we end up with a WrestleMania 30 rematch between the 3 men, with Reigns, Rollins, and Brock. It's not...
No.
You're throwing no's at it?
Yes, I want resolution. I want to see Reigns versus Lesnar and have a conclusion. I really loved that match up until Seth cashed in. Seth's cash in was amazing. Don't get me wrong. But I really loved the build in the match, how it went, and it was just an old school match, and I really, really loved the match. So I want to see a conclusion. I want to see who is better.
Like, name one time we've gotten conclusion. I feel like that's such a rare thing at the moment that I can't be so sure. I'd like to be on the track. I'm very much fine with what you said, right? Like, that to me is the best outcome, is the 1v1. But there's just that little tick in the back of my head that says I can't 100% believe that this is the only outcome. And it may be the whole Dolph Ziggler winning the title when we gave him a very minimal chance, but I think there's just that niggling feeling of something's going to happen and we're not going to get this 1v1.
If we get a 1v1 and it's not Roman, it's going to be Braun. But I feel like Braun's going to be for facing Triple H for some reason.
Okay. That I haven't heard anything about that. That seems left field for me.
I just know whatever Braun does, it's got to be something big. It's got to be something important. And if it's not going to be for the Universal title, then I feel like it should probably be Triple H.
Yeah? Or Triple H just hides and doesn't reappear. You know, for the first time ever. The thing I heard the most with Braun was versus The Miz for the Intercontinental title.
But I think they're going in a direction with Finn.
So I don't... Yeah, you're right. I don't know what direction we're going in. I think WrestleMania is so still open and unknown. I can't tell you what's going to happen 100%. And I think a big proponent of that is the women's division, where we have Asuka, Nia, Jax. Will Jax be entering the match?
No, and even if she was, we still don't know what title Asuka's going after.
Well, yeah, it's the sort of thing, right? Like, Asuka can go for any title, Carmella can still cash in on the SmackDown, Ronda Rousey could switch from signing a Raw contract to a SmackDown contract. The Raw Women's...
Whoa. I think that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure on that one. I'm crossing my fingers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a swerve that they're going to come out and do the whole contract thing, and then out will come Shane and Daniel Bryan offered her a contract with SmackDown. She'll weigh the two options and eventually sign with SmackDown.
I believe that, and I want to believe it with all my heart.
Right. Now you can finish your thought.
The Raw Women's title can change in the Chamber. Theoretically, Charlotte could lose her title to Ruby Riott. I'm going to give her a, let's say, 2% chance.
Don't do that. That's what we gave Dolph Ziggler.
But there's still so many unknowns that'll be wrapped up in 2 or 3 weeks, and then I can start telling you what I think is going to be happening for WrestleMania. I'm going to assume, if I had to guess right now, it would be Rousey, Charlotte, probably non-title, and then Asuka versus whoever wins the Chamber, Bliss or Banks would probably be my top
Banks
picks.
ain't winning. Banks has no chance of winning.
2%?
Banks is going to be eliminated by Bayley, then turn on Bayley in the match.
Can I get a 2% chance?
0%.
No. Can I get a 2% chance for Mandy Rose winning?
0.02.
Okay, 0.02. So for every 10 times Dolph Ziggler wins the title, Mandy Rose wins the Elimination Chamber. Gotcha. So I'm assuming from your reaction then you're saying that Alexa Bliss will retain?
I believe she will.
I think there's 3 people in there that has, as much as you're doubting Sasha, there's 3 people in there who have a poop show in hell, and that would be Sonya, Mickey, and Mandy. I'm gonna give Alexa Bliss obviously the largest percentage of likelihood, and then Bayley, Sasha almost tied with a 2% chance each.
It's because of Bayley and Sasha together that I don't think either of them will win. Yeah. I don't think either of them has a chance to win because they're going to be entangled with each other.
Well, we've thought that for how long? We've been pushing that feud. It's been hinted at so many times.
I think they're finally pulling the trigger.
Finally?
All the times that Bayley has beaten Sasha over the last few weeks and the things that have been said between them, it's time for Sasha to blow.
Okay.
It's going to happen at the Elimination Chamber after Bayley eliminates her.
Is it going to be a Mania match?
And then by that blowing, that's when Bayley will get eliminated because she'll be knocked out.
Yeah. There's so many women's storylines that I don't think they can all fit in singles matches at Mania. I don't know. I've said that plenty of times now at the moment with WrestleMania. I don't know. If I was a betting man, and I already said I wasn't because of Dolph Ziggler, I'd put all my chips on Alexa.
Yeah, I think Alexa retains. We get Alexa versus Asuka. Asuka wins the title at WrestleMania, then proceeds to hold it for an entire year, and then faces Charlotte next year.
Okay. I can barely predict the WrestleMania happening in a couple months, and you're predicting the one that's going to happen in a year. You insane, man?
I just see things.
Okay. And the last match, because there's only 4 matches announced for this pay-per-view. Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt.
Hopefully this is the last match between these two, and we either move on between them, or we get them best together as a tag team.
Okay.
Either way, I'm fine. I would not mind a tag team between these two at all. Because I think they would be absolutely fun.
I think
I've enjoyed the promos, so...
Now that the lawsuit and everything's all been settled and everybody's figured out what we're doing and we're all cool, I think this is now going to be the time where we're going to start bringing in more of the universe around Matt Hardy, and whether that is with Bray in it or whether this is the blow-off and we move on to somebody else. I don't know where Jeff is in terms of injury and coming back. I don't know how much WWE is going to try and incorporate from his gardener to having a match at his house and all this extra stuff. So I can't really see what Matt's future is yet, because I don't know how much we're going to limit him. But I think Matt will win this match.
Yeah, I think Matt will. And then what happens after? Who knows?
Tag team.
That's what I'm hoping.
I'm trying to see. So September, Jeff Hardy injured himself for 4 to 6 months. Let's do some math.
That's roughly about WrestleMania.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is January, 6 is March, so he should be back for Mania.
Possibly. It depends on... Sometimes those type of injuries, though, don't heal as quickly as others expect.
If on the typical timeline, then back for Mania. Which I guess opens up a bit more possibilities for the whole Matt Hardy character. They will have to wait and see what exactly they're gonna do. Do you expect another match to be announced? It's a trick question. There's gotta be, surely.
Yeah, there's gotta be a tag team title match.
Well, we've only got 2 chambers. Say we give them an hour each, and then we've still got Asuka, Nia, Hardy, Wyatt, and a pre-show to cover.
Yeah, I think Titus Worldwide is going to get a tag team title match after beating the tag team champions again
Pre-show?
On Monday. No, I think they'll get about a 10-minute sliver.
Okay. So who's on the pre-show then? Because we can't leave that blank.
We've left them blank in the past.
Recently?
Yes, recently.
You're going to make me scroll through all of this now. The Rumble, we had 3 matches.
Yeah, but that's Rumble.
Clash of Champions, we had 1. We had Mojo Zack. Survivor Series, we had 3. That's a big 4. TLC, we had Banks versus Alicia Fox. That is a weird match in my head. Hell in a Cell, we had Gable and Benjamin defeating the Hype Bros. We have No Mercy, Elias, Apollo. I could do this for a while. SummerSlam, I'm going to assume there's 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely also remember some where they've been left blank. But I'm going to assume last pay-per-view before Mania, they'll shove something on there. Don't know what. There'll be something. They'll find a way.
Yeah, it's possible. And but I just don't expect there to be a match on the pre-show. I really don't.
Yeah.
I expect if we get anything announced between now, when we're recording, and when the show occurs, that it will be a main show match. Because there's only 4 matches on the card.
What about one of the Cruiserweight tournament matches? We got to get through those, right?
I suppose it's possible, but I don't know.
Cruiserweight's got nothing at the moment. Just thought about shoving them on it.
If it's possible, we might get like a 6-man tag.
Oh, God.
Between the Cruiserweights. Don't
use those words in the same sentence.
Because why not?
I'm actually seeing here, there's a video on WWE.com exclusive, but it's on their YouTube. I never understood that. After defeating the Bar on Raw, Titus O'Neil and Apollo challenged them for the titles at Elimination Chamber. So it's pretty much official, is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll happen.
Who wins?
Obviously the Bar. But I would really like to see Titus Worldwide win.
Okay. Well, that's all we got time for. It's been great talking to you.
Maybe.
You visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Radio, or Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling Radio. And we'll see you next week.